It's a beautiful Friday. Thank God it's Friday anyway, and I hope you're doing well wherever you're viewing from. I'm ever so grateful for your unwavering support, dear SNS lover. Bash Mutumba right here for yet another episode of Ugandan Juice. And we'll start off straight away from MC Katz. These guys have reunited. Katz has reunited with Fie, and the first thing that triggered this reunion was definitely the fact that Fie took to Twitter and her Instagram and said, "You found me with nothing, but I was something. Whatever we did together. Whatever we have made together." And straight away people were all against Katz. They were like, wow, Fie is actually right. Whatever you did together. You achieved many things together. You made each other's. Okay, Katz was already big, but she made Fie big, but Fie also tried. She made an effort to also become big in that very way, and they had a child together. It's so serious that they made things together. It wasn't about Katz himself, the way he was saying that he found her with nothing and made her. It wasn't a fair thing, and for that reason he actually went on to hijack yet another Fie show. He followed Fie to another show and hijacked it and went on stage and apologized in public and said he was so sorry about everything, but they are now fine and whatever. And actually they were spotted at one spot at a show, and they were together smiling, and people were like, wow, indeed, when lovers fight, just like the Baganda say, when lovers fight, you shouldn't put your own word there. Leave them to handle their own issues. They will get back together instantly. And it really happened. And the only person that found problems in this particular issue was Sheila Gashumba. That Gashumba decided to comment on the Katz issue, urging them to stop talking of these issues on social media, that they should solve them outside social media. And the Ganda saying actually got her in this particular instance. People went badly. They went ham on her. They went ham on Sheila Gashumba. They were like, really, a girl who hasn't even had any serious relationship yet, how could she be coming out to comment about people who have had a child together? She doesn't have a right to talk about relationships. That was according to people on Twitter. And they went on to begin dissing Gashumba about her boyfriend, God's Plan. He's commonly known as God's Plan because people actually don't know what his name is, but he's commonly known as God's Plan. So people decided to diss God's Plan badly, and very, very badly. They later even put out a photo of God's Plan with one of his kids before people actually knew he had other kids. Yeah, and this took Gashumba waywardly to another dimension, and she decided to go straight to her Instagram and tell off all the people that were talking ill about her and her lover or boyfriend, God's Plan. Actually, Gashumba is not a girl that usually acknowledges that she's in love with someone, and this was a very big shocker. Actually, she rarely goes on to social media or anywhere to admit that this person is my boyfriend. She will always be outing with them and all that stuff, going together, snapping, posting photos and stuff, but she has never come out to say the word boyfriend or lover or anything. But this has been the first time that she actually went out to her social media and wrote something like that. She wrote a very lengthy Instagram message that I'll try to read for you, and you try to decipher what you might get from it. She said, "Now let me make this clear for those who didn't get the memo. There is nothing I don't know about Marcus, and there is nothing he doesn't know about me that a stranger or a blogger will tell us about. And guess what? We love each other just the way we are. So for now, just keep enjoying what we post when we decide to. Shout outs to girls commenting all sorts of hateful things. I am sorry to tell you that all your comments won't let me leave him, and they won't let him leave me. I'm not your ordinary Ugandan girl that you will scare, and when he is single, you all will be running to him like wild dogs. And please, he ain't your ordinary type of guy. So Vambi, Aulide ategezo mulala, that anyone that has heard should tell another person. So for now, keep reading the blogs, screenshot, send your fellow gossip girls, but the fact still remains that I'm still with the man of your dreams." Wow. Wabulate mwagaliza. Let me remind you guys of how you make fools of yourselves every time. Ugandans love to be hypocrites all the time. The ones commenting are the same ones flirting and sleeping with their sister or best friend's boyfriends with no shame whatsoever. So, now are you trying to tell you stupid gossip girls have never dated a man with an ex or a child? That was a question to the gossip girls. Since you know the answer deep down, I will let you drink water often and mind your business. Some of you try to really care of yourselves to look good or have some glow, but you still look rusty as F. Wow. You know why? Because you don't mind your own business. Lol, I feel pity for sad and hateful people on the internet. I can already imagine how much sadness you have in your lives, homes and relationships. And I can only feel sad about how toxic your people are around. Sorry for you. May you get well soon. Please don't argue with my post. I won't read any comments because I am too busy planning my future with my boyfriend. Wow. Working on my store and planning my next holiday, so argue with your keyboards. Atebul yo mwasigale mu team ye, meaning everyone should stay in their team. And she tagged God's Plan at call me God's Plan. Well, this was a fire shot towards every single person, the bloggers, everyone. And on this particular situation, the bloggers were not happy about this. I'll first give you a background on how the first blog that actually went out to uncover the identity of God's Plan, Sheila's boyfriend, before this entire thing came up. That was Howie.biz. It's a music and entertainment website in Uganda, and at first everyone was really not sure about the identity of God's Plan, because in all photos that Sheila took with him, he was always hiding his face from below, right below the eyes downwards, and people were not believing why is this guy over hiding the face. Really, people were not understanding. And how he came out to say that God's Plan was actually a certified robber, that he was a bank robber. He used to rob cars in transit that take cash to banks and stuff like that, that he used to rob such cars, such automobiles. Yeah, and the time that he was called, that he had already accumulated over £3 million, and that the very scenario that got him busted was when he had robbed close to actually over £100,000. That's when he got caught on that scenario, that he had robbed over £100,000. And you see, when a website like Howie writes such stuff, no one really takes it so serious, because everyone knows it as a gossip website. Yeah, that whatever they write might be just gossip and hearsay, and there's nothing serious about it. So at first, when Howie wrote such stuff, people were not taking it serious. But when they went on to put links, and verified links actually, to reputable news sites like BBC, Telegraph, The Independent, The Guardian and The Standard, that's when everyone believed that actually Howie was not lying, and God's Plan was caught with all that money, and he had stolen all that money previously, because people were asking where the guy, such a young guy, he's about 31 years, where he got all that money that he's spending on Sheila Gashumba, because it is reported that God's Plan got Sheila a house in Kololo. Kololo is a very high-end place to live in Kampala. It's only for people that are very well off, because it's not one of those suburbs that you might talk of. It's in the middle of Kampala, and for basically very rich people that live in such a place. And he got her a house there. Not sure whether he bought it or he just rented it for her, but either way, even if it's renting, really a single house for just one single person in Kololo, very expensive to talk of. And yeah, so people are trying to get to know the identity of God's Plan. And in the Howie story, they identify him as Ali Lwanga, but shockingly, Gashumba, who claims she knows everything about the boyfriend, refers to him as Marcus. So it's a little confusing, but the face is the very same in all the articles that were written by all those reputable English media houses that I've told you about, and the same thing that Howie was writing. It's the same person, the same face, and he has lived in England before. So really, God's Plan thing, it was actually scary. Most news houses, according to some writers, they claimed they were scared to write about this thing because it looked very sensitive. Yeah, they were scared to write about the man's identity. Many claimed they already knew about it, but they never wrote about it. It's only Howie that came out with all this boldness and wrote about this crazy stuff. But later, actually, the bloggers, after the second incident, after the post by Sheila that was dissing all bloggers and gossip people and stuff, other bloggers didn't take this lightly. They decided to go ballistic at her, and one of these are the bloggers at Galaxy FM, who went out with a very comical post. Let me read for you how the headline was. How to be Sheila Gashumba. At only 23, she is an astonishing businesswoman, a co-wife, a stepmom, and ready to die for her man. Really, it's a very comical kind of post and a story, and if you read it, it's filled with indirect disses and something of the sort, because, and actually this led to other bloggers and tweets on Twitter and everywhere to begin posting about the other children that God's plan has, because at first posts were moving around of just one child, but later another post moved around of the second child and the wife. They were together actually, the wife and God's plan's 2 kids. Wow. So she's being looked at as a housebreaker and things like that. And one other interesting thing about this story is that Sheila Gashumba's dad, who is Frank Gashumba, a very celebrated political commentator, very popular businessman, entrepreneur, has always been actually dissing or talking ill of all girls, young girls that are normally called slay queens around here, that go after married men. Yes, that young girls that disorganize people's marriages and stuff. And sadly, his daughter is now one of those young girls. And according to reports from other people, they claim that Sheila Gashumba fell out with his dad. You remember the incident where the dad beat her up badly? Apparently it was because of God's plan himself, because she no longer wanted to stay home, and actually she left home after that very incident and entered the house that was apparently gotten for her by God's plan. And it was the fallout was because of that very guy. Apparently that the fallout between Sheila and the dad was because of the guy, but really no one is sure about that very thing. But just giving you the story the way how it is reports it. And well, the next thing I will talk about is the Zari thing. Zari, remember last week I told you and the other week that Zari is not a person who will always hide a relationship. Whatever she was claiming, Busimanya, she will never she will never talk about her boyfriend, she will never post him, she will never do anything of the sort. I told you guys, really, that thing hadn't just become that serious to be posted, but at any point Zari was going to post that man, and it has happened. Zari posted the man, and he looks to be a little old. He's not a young man like Zari always dates, because she always dates younger men and boys, but this guy looks to be a little old, somewhere between about his 40s. I think he's in 40s when you do a rough guess by looking at the lower part of his face and stuff. And he's a mugged guy kind of, and Zari posted photos of them having fun out and stuff. And well, we just await to see the introduction to the family. But anyway, someone actually made a joke about it and said, really, Zari's kids they've seen stepdads. Every single year they will get a new stepdad. That's just a joke anyway. And Bad Black has finally been summoned by police over vulgarity. Really, it has been too much. If I told you want to laugh to your death, just follow Bad Black on Snapchat. Bad Black is like the most followed celebrity in Uganda on Snapchat. That one, there is no doubt about that. Not because she's more popular than the likes of maybe Chameleon or Anita Fabiola or perhaps Judith Heard or Juliana Kanyomozi or Spice Diana or Shiba Karunji. No, it's not because of that, or because she has a very nice body like the likes of Winnie Nwaji. Not really. The fact is that Bad Black is very vulgar on her Snapchat. She will talk about stuff openly. Remember, she is a self-confessed prostitute. She openly says she has been doing prostitution for almost the biggest part of her life now, and she openly says it. Remember, Bad Black actually became famous after stealing money from David Greenhalgh, who is a British tycoon who was in Uganda. At first, nobody really knew where she got all that money, because usually in Uganda, these people that come up as socialites, they always come with a lot of money, and no one really wants to ask where they get the money from, because usually they've always come up like that. The likes of Mike Ezra, the likes of Zari Hassan, because actually Zari herself and Ivan, they came as socialites in Uganda. No one knew them at first, but they made money out in South Africa and came in Uganda and splashed it all over bars with the late Ivan, and just like that they became famous. In Uganda, it's easy to become famous as a socialite. Just make your money out there in Cheo, go to like Dubai or any other country, wash a couple of toilets, or do any work, or actually do any serious business, because some are doctors, some do white collar jobs, but the majority do blue collar jobs. Come to Uganda and splash the money, and boom, you're a socialite, boom, you're famous, and every single celebrity will want to walk around with you. That's how it works. So Bad Black definitely had a lot of money that she was splashing around, and she became famous. She became a socialite, and no one really cared to wonder where Bad Black got all that money, just like they don't care to know where Brian White is getting all that money. And somehow later, a white man, or a British guy who is called David Greenhalgh came out and sued Bad Black for conning him of 11 billion Uganda shillings. 11 billion Uganda shillings. And Bad Black was actually imprisoned for close to 4 years. And apparently she had stolen that money from the guy and was chewing it with the boyfriend Medi Sentongo, who is a nice looking socialite as well, a guy, Medi Sentongo. And apparently Medi Sentongo was the one doing the plans for Bad Black in whatever they were doing. And Medi went on to serve only 1 year in prison, as Bad Black served the 4. And when Black came back from prison, she was expecting to find the lover Medi Sentongo with plans and stuff and investments for them and their relationship. But sadly, she found when Medi had already moved on and he had already splashed all the money. He had chewed all the money that Bad Black had stolen from the guy. Very sad story, actually. Bad Black didn't have to pay back the money to Greenhalgh because they actually even had a child together already, though she had at first denied to admit that Greenhalgh was the father of the child, who is called Jonah. But she later agreed because there was nothing to do. Yeah. But Bad Black is the kind of person who would reveal to the world whoever she has had sexual relationships with, because she tried to claim the child was owned by Eugene Sepuya, a football player from Uganda, tried to say Medi himself, tried to say random other people that she has had relationships with. And well, that story, that history aside, Bad Black has been summoned because of her Snapchat behavior. If you follow down Snapchat, you would notice that you would know whatever she does throughout the day, from the time she wakes up to the time she goes back to bed. She always snaps. She's always doing videos and talking very vulgar stuff, holding herself in the nether regions, because there's another video where she was holding herself in the private parts and talking really nasty stuff. And always the police wasn't caring till when she began talking about politics and claiming that the government of Uganda had given her money to support NRM and the president and to abuse Bobi Wine, and that anyone that supports people power or Bobi Wine's people power is just broke. Yeah, that anyone that tries to support people power is just broke. That if you're a person that is well off, you cannot support Bobi Wine, apparently. And now the police has gone against her and they've summoned her to CID to talk about this particular issue, to explain the issues that have made her say such things about the president. And well, music and politics that we are talking is causing more problems than ever. When we're talking about, for example, Gravity Omutuji recently released a song. He has always been releasing anti-government songs, just like Bobi Wine has always done, but this time this one was a little direct. Gravity released a song called Ekyakuzala Kyekirikutta, that what birthed you is what will kill you, and he put the President Museveni's cartoon on the artwork of the audio. That was a bold move and people were really scared for him, and he has been shot yesterday. Not saying that the song is linked to being shot yesterday by not shot directly, but shot at by a security guard. I'm not saying they're connected, but it has happened. Politics and music really usually doesn't end in a nice way, and he was shot at by a security guard. And apparently, even though some people are mocking him and claiming he's pretending, since the wounds are not so fatal like a gunshot wound would be, but Gravity still maintains that he was shot at and the bullet just missed it, just passed via his belly and broke the entire side mirrors of his car. Well, nothing to doubt because none of us were there, but the police case was reported and he's currently at Rubaga Hospital receiving treatment. And the thing is that some people are trying to say that the fact that Gravity was beginning to sing straightly about politics and abusing the president is the reason why he is now in trouble. But that's just a thought by people. And besides that, Bobi Wine himself has been given a award by Davido. And Davido, a Nigerian musician, a celebrated Nigerian musician, has claimed that he will support Bobi Wine, and he does support him now 100%. In any way that Bobi Wine will need Davido's support, Davido is willing to give it up to him. Wow! And even though Davido himself has gotten criticism from all over for being actively into politics, tweeting about politics, the ongoing presidential campaigns and stuff in Nigeria and elections, tweeting about them every single time, and even supporting openly his fellow musician Banky W, who is also seeking office as a politician. Davido has said he will not go away from politics. He has a right as a citizen to talk about politics. tricky and confusing, but that's how it is. And that's all from me today. And if you made it this far in this video, really I have no doubts that you are a loyal SNS lover, and so I'd be glad if you'd click like just to give me a thumbs up on this video. And also feel free to drop your comment down below on any of the stories that I've given you today. I'd be glad to reply to you. And you can as well follow me on Instagram at Bash Mutumba. Till next week.